Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get started here. Last time we left off looking at our. We're currently re implementing Descent in Unreal Engine 5. The idea is that we're putting all of the descents in one place. So you can load levels from Descent 1, 2, and 3 in Unreal Engine 5. And of course, to start that, we need Descent movement in Unreal Engine 5 and Descent ships and Descent gameplay. So we are working on a custom pawn movement controller that can not only handle movement in three dimensions, not only handle movement in three directions, but also handle rotation in three directions. We left off last time kind of asking ourselves if we wanted to kind of do with this safe move updated component function this way, or with a custom implemented safe move and rotate updated component. And I do think we want to custom implement eventually, but we're going to start out with just this. This shouldn't cause any crashes, I don't think, until we get into collisions and stuff. So we want to go ahead and start with this, and then we'll update it at a later date. In the meantime, I'm kind of reviewing my apply input to rotation stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how that's supposed to work. I'm more or less duplicating the apply control input to velocity thing, just to see what comes out of that, and then we'll make changes from there. One thing that I'm not certain about is clamping quaternions. As you can see, they don't have a get clamp to max size function. They don't have any clamping functions. So, what do we have? We have normalize. We do have a size. I think we're just going to normalize this. Right, we're clamping it to 1, so normalize should be awful similar. That clamps it below 1, but I'm thinking for input and descent. So for reference, descent doesn't actually normalize its movement inputs. You can, if you do oh, still don't like it. If you push multiple keys in descent, you fly faster. And that's actually a really important movement mechanic. It adds some interesting skill gaps and actually makes sense in the context because Descent is a 6 degrees of freedom shooter. You're flying a ship, so if you're going sideways, you can use more thrusters. What doesn't like about this? So if we remove normalize, it's happy. Void. Doesn't return anything. Okay. That is not what I was expecting. So we would have to do it like this. Oh, get normalized. We don't want to normalize, we want to get normalized. Ta-da! Now we get a return. That works better. Or not. Oh. I don't think we want to do that. So if we get normalized here, like get normalized, this is always 0. Or sorry, always 1. Every time. So I think we actually do want to leave that not normalized. We'll see how that goes. Once again, we don't have any clamping capability with our quaternions, so I'm not certain what we'd do with that. Is angular velocity a quaternion? I think it is. Okay, so we need to re-implement this. Oh, right. This was such a weird one. We don't need to update this. Okay. So if controller this looks weird. We wanted to check both of these, right? So if max speed is true, then we want to do that, and then if is exceeding max angular speed is equal to true, or what's max speed? Where'd you get max speed from? Max angular speed. go. Then we want to say, whoa, angular velocity is equal to dot normalize times max angular speed. Get normalized. Like so. Okay, so we want to scale it to the max angular speed. And of course we want to, okay, we've got, whoops, got all of our defaults up here. So, okay. Delta. So I've made a mistake here. This needs to be a separate if statement. If not delta rotation, is identity. Is there an is nearly identity? Right, so basically this stops slowing down, deaccelerating our angular velocity when our speed is nearly zero, not when our angular speed is nearly zero. And I'm not certain how to check if our angular speed is near zero. Quaternion. Angular velocity times delta time. This does not look right. Size is a float. So for greater than some very small number, then what we want to do is something. Okay. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. This might mess things up horribly. But basically, because we want to call this function with both of these, we're going to try and combine this. What's new location? Where did we do that? Oh, right there. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we changed the components rotation here. And um, and then we get it and we recall it to the new location here. And then we do our subtraction. And of course we divide it by delta time. Actually, it kind of feels like that's redundant, but okay, sure. All right. That should be a starting implementation of rotation on our pawn. So we're going to go ahead and rebuild this and see what happens. Unreal's not happy with me, so we'll have to give it a second. There we go. All right. Unreal is quite slow today. Don't know why. Come on. Oh, loading it. It's got a loading screen on my other monitor here. There we go. Okay, so add rotation input. Okay, so when we get this action, we want to add rotation input, this quaternion. How much? I'd be willing to bet that as soon as we hit play on this, we are going to start spinning like a top. I think we're going to have a constant input on our quaternion because it'll be an identity quaternion somehow and spin us around constantly. I could be wrong, but we're about to find out. It's not quite what I was expecting. It spun us to a specific orientation, and it's got a nice acceleration to it, which is a good thing. If I give it some input here, let's click. Our movement input seems fine. Our rotation input seems to be going towards a target rather than adding on to it. So maybe we shouldn't be importing a world vector, maybe we should be importing a local vector. That would be unexpected. So let's go ahead and make Euler. Whoops. Let's drop the value directly into make Euler and see what we get. On the one hand, this makes sense because I no longer expect to be spinning off the bat because we should have a 0, 0, 0 Euler coming in here. Ah, but I'm wrong. I'm guessing we're going for a different world target now. See that? We're rotating to a target. It's a very small rotation. It's going to a target. Okay. We will keep it like this for troubleshooting purposes. And let's have a think. And this makes me think the rotate vector isn't working. Because we had a very similar result from not rotating the vector. Printf is a different language. And I'm not saying print here because constant sensitive print, and print is a string. And I, of course, need a conversion there. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. Why didn't I get a print? Oh, I only get a print when I'm giving the input. Gotta wait for it to settle down here. I kind of wanted it to print the whole time, don't I? Huh. If I go with the bounces, I can get it to go further. But you'll notice that I'm going straight to 1, -1, and I'm not changing at all. That makes it almost certain that this is not working somehow. Oh no. Oh no. That's an interesting question. How does this work? I have an event tick in C++ where I'm doing something, and now I'm adding event tick. I suppose this is on the pawn, not the component. Yeah, it's on the pawn. All right. Let's see what this looks like. You see that? It's not working-ish. Okay. So obviously, rotating a vector of 0, 0, 0 to the world vector doesn't do anything. There's nowhere for the vector to rotate. I am getting rotation of the vector when I'm holding it down, holding down the keys. Okay. Interesting enough, the rotation is not in the direction I'm holding down the key, which is odd. Trying to figure out if I just haven't gotten that much rotation in yet. But, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, that's very odd. It's also very odd that we're chasing a zeroed quaternion. We have 0, 0, 0 convert to Euler, and we get a quaternion because that's actually a direction. That is actually a direction. Okay. So what we have here is I don't think we can. I think what's going on here is we can't. What can we do with quaternions? Convert them to a rotator. We can do with rotators. We can combine rotators. We can do delta rotator. Problem is this makes something. This 0, 0, 0 makes an angle. I'm not certain works here. So maybe we create a rotator instead of a quat and combine them and then throw them in here? Okay. We'll try that one. And if that doesn't work, we'll go back to our C++ and kind of figure out what we want to do here. break vector. Make rotator. I don't know why I can't make a rotator from a vector directly. I'd have to look at that. Okay, return value into B here. Delete this. And I kind of want to track this one. It should be the same thing. No, I don't want to track that one. I want to track this one. That won't be the same thing. Okay. So we want to know if we're successfully rotating the rotating this to world. The answer is no. Combining this rotator isn't doing anything. See that? I'm pressing keys and getting... Oh. Because I don't clicked on it. So if we are successfully combining to the world here, which I think it's clear that we are, look at that, we are getting all sorts of numbers moving. Then why are we still spinning? Right? Shouldn't our target at 0, 0, 0 be our current world rotation? I suppose what we can do here is real quickly, let's do a delta. And what we're going to do is subtract our combined rotator and our actual rotation, and this should give us 0. Right? If this gives us 0 when we aren't pressing any keys, then we're rotating this correctly and there are problems in the C++ code somewhere. If this gives us non-zero, then we need to figure out what's wrong in here. All zeros when I'm not pressing keys. I do get values when I'm pressing keys. The values are not being reset. See that? That's odd. That's really weird. Okay. Unreal should be handling the reset itself. I don't know what's up with that. But this delta rotator is 0. So this is a problem in our C++ code. So let's hop in. Okay. No, Unreal, you don't need to be on top. You can go away. There we go. So we want to, let's look through our tick component here. So for tick component, if we just skip update, we skip the update. If we don't have a pawn owner or an updated component, we skip the update. Controller is a pawn owner controller, and if we get a controller and it's local, then we apply our velocity and rotation. If the controller is our player controller, it is not following a path, and it use acceleration for, or it is not following a path, or okay, sorry, if our controller is our player, or if our controller is following a path, or if we are supposed to use acceleration for paths, then we apply our control, or we apply our input to velocity and apply our input to rotation. Otherwise, we limit our max speed to the max angular speed, or max max linear speed. So that's pretty straightforward. This code actually isn't running in our script because we have a player controller controlling this. So instead, this code is running. We will go back to that. Limit world bounds, great. Position corrected is false, great. We want to get delta is velocity times delta time. Angular velocity times delta time. What's angular velocity? Angular velocity just got set right there. Okay. Okay, this is a little funky. We are using angular velocity and velocity for two different purposes, which is fine, but it's a little hard to follow. So what's going on here is the angular velocity is being used initially to store the delta angular velocity between frames. And then each frame, we use it to store the target angular velocity for each frame. So down here, before we set angular velocity, it is the delta. After we set it, it is the target. Okay, so we get our input. Great. We don't clamp it to max size yet. We probably are going to want to do that, or scale it to max size somehow. Excuse me. And so we get our input. We create an input modifier, which is just the size of our input. Ooh, I think I found an issue. The size of the input's fine, but I'm thinking that if we don't normalize this after this, When we multiply by the size again, we're multiplying by it, we're doubling it. Huh? Okay. We're actually going to change our paradigm here. Const flat rotation cell raw, oops, raw, const f quad. That way we don't accidentally modify rotation elsewhere in the function. Get max angular speed times analog input modifier. This is weird to me. Is exceeding max angular speed. Okay, so if if we're getting some input, right? Oh, what we're saying is if the next frame angular speed, right? If what we're going to change the angular speed to is exceeding max angular speed, then we're going to treat it as if we are. So if we're getting input and we're not exceeding max speed, if we have angular velocity, we want to angular velocity equals angular velocity plus rotation acceleration times angular velocity dot size minus angular velocity. Oh, if we have input and we're not exceeding the max speed, add some speed. Okay, add something to angular velocity. It's really weird to me that we're multiplying by delta time here and here. Why are we doing it twice? Same thing's happening up here though, so we'll keep it consistent for now. We don't have any multiplier for change in angular velocity. Okay. If angular velocity dot size squared oh, wait a minute. I think I missed an else statement. I don't think that changes anything. I think that's going to make our input act differently. I think we're going to be able to now spin around and then let go, and it'll go back. All right. Angular velocity equals rotation acceleration times angular acceleration times delta time. Why? Plus equals rotation acceleration. Oh, if we have velocity, then we do this. Otherwise, we do this. Where's our deacceleration? There's deacceleration. Okay, if we don't have any input, so it's probably this that's killing us. If angular velocity dot psi squared if angular velocity dot psi squared is greater than 0 and analog input modifier, and okay, so if we are moving, and we don't have any input, then our old angular velocity is equal to current angular velocity. Angular velocity size is equal to the max of 0. Okay, the lowest it can go is 0. Fair enough. And angular velocity dot size minus angular deceleration times delta time. Angular velocity equals angular velocity get normalized times angular velocity size. Didn't we already normalize that? That is a negative. To make sure normalized does what I think it does. It does. Okay, so normalized vector just makes the size 1. You multiply it by our angular velocity size. If exceeding angular speed and okay. So we moved it inside the if statement, or the else statement. I don't think that changes anything. But let's take a look. Nah, there we go. Yeah, that doesn't change anything, as expected. Still confused why our inputs are not resetting. Because they're only supposed to be run at input. That's incredibly weird. Um, so I want to make sure that I'm recognizing the code correctly. I think the error is here. Just going to compile that and come over to Unreal. You can close this for now and hit play. I'm wrong. Error is not there. So what we're actually going to do is close Unreal. And what we're going to do is save this, and we're going to drop a breakpoint right here. And then we're going to run in debug mode. I'm actually going to pull this guy to the other screen. The Unreal Editor is going to take a few seconds to load here. And basically, let me pull this back. What we're doing in debug mode is when we hit this breakpoint, it doesn't think we can hit the breakpoint. We'll find out. When we hit this breakpoint, the code will stop, and then we can step through the break step through the code line by line, and we can watch it change things. And we can look at the variable values as it changes things, and that'll be incredibly helpful. If the editor ever loads. Hello? Oh, there it goes. It's oh. Okay. This error took me a long time to figure out. This basically means that if we click yes here and it still can't find it, this basically means that Unreal needs to be rebuilt entirely. What I'm guessing is that my last time I did the full rebuild here, I did not do the full rebuild in debug with debug symbols. It's actually acting like it's doing something this time, so I might be wrong here. Nope, still incompatible or missing module. Okay, so I need to figure out how to rebuild Unreal with debug symbols to troubleshoot this. So let's go ahead and stop this. I think this is what I need right here. Rebuild with diagnostics. This is going to take 3 hours. I think. We're going to let it get started and make sure that it's running correctly, and then we'll move on to something else. So I am really liking the JetBrains Writer IDE so far. It's fast. It's really good at finding the symbols appropriately, and it's relatively easy to figure out what I need to click to do to rebuild things and just build things to start with. A lot of times in VS Code, you have to get into a whole bunch of config files to set up a build before you hit build and hope you got the config files right. This is much more easy to go, I want you to rebuild that thing. It works much better. It sets it all up for you. What are we building? We are building pieces of the engine. So, we are going to change the subject of this stream. Give me a second. We'll go ahead and switch over to just chess for now, I think. Actually, before we do that, yeah, we'll switch over to chess for now. So I'm just adjusting my tags. Okay. So let's pull up some chess. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with a few puzzles here to get going, and then we'll jump into a few games. I am terrible at chess, so do forgive me. Okay, we got some interesting things going here. The first thing I noticed, we got to check on the king here and here, and it's protected by the bishop and the knight. But here, only the king can take, and because it's protected by the bishop, I think that's checkmate. Mate. Simple puzzle. Alright, in this situation, we got to check right here, and the king can't move. Knight can take. We have a check right here. Knight can block. Check again. King runs. Checkmate. Oh, I'm looking at this wrong. Queen is not on that diagonal. So we have check. Knight takes. Don't see how that's useful. We have check. King takes. Don't see. Oh, wait. Check. Knight takes. Check. Knight blocks. Now what do we do? We can check again. King takes. Check. King takes. No. I'm not seeing it. Check. King takes. Check. Nope, we can't move the queen. Queen is stuck on this column. So check. Nope. We can do this. Then we have rook takes or pawn takes. That's not good. We can do this. Then we have rook takes. And what are we going to do with the king? We can't run. I mean, we can run, but it blocks the whole point. The only move I can see here is this, which is apparently correct, but I don't understand why. Check again. Queen takes. That's why. The other rook. Alrighty then. So we have a check here. And a check here. This check is easily blocked. But this check is guarded. What can the knight do here? Not seeing much. Why would that pawn be... Anyway. Check here. Block. I am not seeing anything here. This looks really scary, but there's no attack. It is white to move, yes. So we have a check here. The king just takes. Does that force us into some sort of fork? Yes, but not a useful one. Particularly because we traded the queen for this fork. What's going on here? We're threatening this some sort of move here. Takes. It doesn't look like a threat yet. That's a threat. We either have to guard this threat or we have to perpetual. We have to check indefinitely. We only have one check in this position. And the only way to guard this threat is this. Excuse me. Or this. Ooh. We lose defense of the knight, though. Really? Really? What? The king doesn't run because the knight's guarding. That makes sense. Black to move. If black is moving, then we're going this way, and white pawns are going this way. This square is covered. We have a check. We are in check. We are in check, which means that we must take the queen or block the queen. Let's see here. Takes. Check. This square is covered. This square is covered. He can either move. Oh, no. Only place to move is back. Okay. From here, we can step this guy up, and we're threatening a checkmate like this. How do you stop it? Takes. I don't need that one. I can just checkmate you. Oh, no. That takes. Then I can checkmate you. Okay. Takes. Mate. No. Really? But now what? Just takes? Throw me on an analysis board for this one. What was the first move? Queen to here, and then this is obviously going to be mate, and then he moves back. How do you get out of this? Rook to here. Ah, makes much more sense. And we're locked in. The interesting thing here is we're only up a minor piece, but the computer evaluates this as significantly better for black. Because black has no way to, or white has no way to save these pawns. As I see it, yeah, because black has no way to save those pawns. Oh, this is mate in 22. Thanks. That's not super helpful. Just close it off. Okay, now we're closed off this way, and we're threatening mate in 4. What? Oh. Whoops. Okay, so we have to run this check from here. Got it. All right, let's play a few games against some actual people. I'm just going to run some 10-minute games here. I like playing the Cairo Khan on black, but I don't know it well enough to be super good at it. Let me... No. I think I want a knight here, but I generally want a bishop out before I do that. So let's drop the bishop here, and then we'll try to bring the knight out. That might have been a mistake. This. This. The problem is I've locked in my other bishop here. This pawn is weak. I need to figure out how to target it. Ooh. Not what I was expecting. Now I can either bring the knight back to where you started. I'd prefer not to do that. Or I can set him right here, looking to go here in the future. And that's a decent square. So let's do that. The problem is this. Well, shoot, I just trapped my knight. That's a mistake. Yeah, that's a mistake. He didn't take it, though. Okay. Oh, boy. Well, that's a huge mistake. Okay, so we can bring my knight up to attack, or my bishop up to attack this pawn. This is a weak pawn. He's got knight and queen supporting it, but, well, yeah. Weak is relative, I guess. I think I really messed this opening up. I think we're going to have to study the Caro-Kann at some point here. Let me move this guy over here so I can watch my compilation progress. All right, what do? We did develop the bishop. That's a very reasonable move, sir. This pawn is still weak. Scared to do this because of my pawn structure here. It's very open from the center. I don't have a good pawn structure anywhere, so. Alright. So now I can attack this pawn. Give myself a little space. So I think I am going to want a castle. It's going to be less open over here than it is going to be in the center, because these are about to be open. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Double shoot. I read that defense wrong. Okay. All those are guarded, so I can just take this pawn back. Now this is a really weak pawn, unguarded. Okay, but he's giving me more pawns for it. If I'm reading that right, I can just take this. Uh-huh. Knight's guarding that. So now I can move my queen here. I'm threatening... No! You can't move your queen there, Tyler. You want it to... Oh, my word. I'm going to resign this game. That was so terrible. I looked at moving my queen there, and I specifically said I couldn't. I needed to move it sideways, and that was okay because this knight was defending this pawn. And then I clicked the wrong thing. That was just terrible. Let's try that again. Okay. So, Caro-Kann again. I think I need to accept that my bishop is kind of stuck. Whoa, can't move it over there. Bishop is kind of stuck. This is interesting. If he takes it, great. If he doesn't take it, then I can take. Yeah. Any way to guard that bishop there? No, but at the same time, he can't block with that pawn right now. He has to block with a piece. So we can get the bishop pair off the board. And move the knight out. Now we've got castles to be looking forward to. He takes the center. I take the center. I think we're looking at castles next. Yes. Yes, castles next. I'm not sure what he's looking at here, because if he takes, then I take with the knight and then with queen. Bishop, nice square here, defended by the knight. Controls large portions of the board. Specifically controls this pawn, which is useful. Knight. I think we can go move to the standard square here, threatening to move him forward. Castle's queen side, which is very odd. It's very, very odd. The king is now fully restricted. If I can get a knight somewhere in here, that's ooh. I think I lost a pawn in that exchange. Ouch. It's time to bring out the rooks. Keeping in mind he is up a pawn. If we can get him to trade rooks here, I think we'll be quite happy. Great. Because he doesn't have his forces out yet. Let's think about this one. Okay. I'm thinking the knight is going to be more valuable than the single squared bishop, so I don't want to trade. Right? If we don't have the bishop pair, then they can only control the white on the board. So I can't move here. I can move here, but I'm going to be forced to move again next turn. Of course, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Particularly because if he does that, that's actually checkmate. Right? Yep. So we're going to do this and basically say, what are you going to do to guard this pawn here? Because you do need to guard it somehow. And you're not going to guard it, so you're going to lose. That was a very pretty checkmate. I'm happy with that. There are a few things that I could have done better, but that's a good start. I totally missed that. I totally missed that challenge here. Let's go ahead and accept the challenge from you. We could do a rematch later, Bird Lover, if you want. I get a feeling I'll be crushed again, but it could be fun. Um, Moving the bishop out like this is probably not the right move, but it's actually doing all right so far. He only has 2 defenders here. I also have 2 defenders here. So I move up and he can't attack, and I think I can't attack either. Gives me a little bit of space to work with. I think I prefer the knight there rather than the bishop, so we're just going to do this. We are a hair behind on development, which makes this bit a little scary. Ooh. Okay. I think this works. I think if he takes this, then I... Ah. No, wait. What? No, that's a winning of a knight. It's a pure win of a knight, isn't it? Yep. And I can block instead of trading out the queens. I think I prefer to do that because I keep castles. But I need to move this first. I am getting slaughtered here, guys. Let's do this. Yeah. Now I really don't want to castles that direction anyway. Let's tuck in here. I'm going to trade out that pawn. Castles the other way. Okay, well, my king is smothered, or is close to smothered, just like I was doing to the guy last game. So we need to watch that very carefully. Followed immediately by missing the move here. Yeah, this is... This is looking real bad. Ouch, 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 ouch. I don't see a way out. Basically, as soon as this knight moves, I lose. And I could try blocking with the queen, but then this knight has... Well, no, he doesn't have that. I've got this. What does that do? Ah, that's what that does. Ouch. I do not do well in 5 minutes, for sure. Don't do well in general, but 5 minutes is definitely not a great place. Thank you. You too. Want to do 1 minute? We can try. It'd be amusing. Wait, did I accept the wrong challenge? I think I accepted the wrong challenge. There we go. There's the 1 minute. Let's lock it up. Um, hmm. Da. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Missed that. I can't do that. Guess we'll go this way. Cool. Do this. Ouch. Yeah, sure. Oh, timeout. Man, that's fast. Uh, I think I'm going to go ahead and return to 10-minute people at my level if you don't. Yes, you did. 36 seconds. You were moving quickly. You knew the pattern. All right. So, ready opening again. We'll go ahead and take the center. Ah. Queen's Gambit accepted. Sure. I will be streaming tomorrow, but I'm not streaming necessarily in the chess category. I'm usually streaming in the game development category. But if you hop in and want a game, we can definitely do that. But I should be streaming tomorrow night as well. Queen here. Made a mistake somewhere. I don't know where. But one pawn should be recoverable. particularly because I still got good defenses here. Everything's supported. And I kind of want to know where the queen is going. Okay. All right, that's an interesting place for the queen to be going. Let's go ahead and step this pawn up so it's defended by its fellow pawns. And then we can block with the bishop. Okay. Knight is no longer defended. We can... there's not a lot of places for this knight to go. I think this ends up being the best place, even though I'm not a huge fan of putting it that far up right now. Don't know if I have the position to defend the knight. Suppose I have this? That's pretty defensible. Sure, that'll do. The only problem is if he can get his knight to move, then we've got a problem. Interesting. On the one hand, that's kind of scary. On the other, I think I can trap you here and then try this. Okay, here's a thought. If I take this, he can... If I take this, he takes... Oh, he takes that first. Throws me off. But I can have a similar effect here. If I take this, he takes, I take, he takes. Okay. It looks like he's trying to go another pawn up here. I think that's a successful look. I don't see a way to do any... Well, no. I'm looking directly at this pawn. So... if we go ahead and bring the rooks together here, so we're mostly looking down this mostly open aisle. And then he can take my pawn and I can take his pawn. And I'm also threatening that pawn next. I suppose he can just move it. I'm not sure what he's doing here. He keeps making single move threats on my rook. My rook is very free and open to move. So why don't I just... If I move here, it looks like he's probably going to move here. He's very insistent on this. I think that's fine, though. Oh yeah, if he moves there, I just take. What am I thinking? Okay. Right, I can't take, but he can't move. Okay. Knight moves. Wait, what? King can't go anywhere. Knight can't take. Queen can't take. Bishop can't take. Rook can't take. Thanks for the checkmate. Okay. That's unfortunate, I guess. I wanted to review the opening here. Let's see. We got move, 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 move. All right. Moving this guy up 2 is a mistake. I was thinking that this was an open threat, but that leaves this pawn open. So remember, in the ready, just move him up 1. Just 1. It's okay that he's there. You can get him kicked out a different way. Maybe even like this and this or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Okay. Thanks. If he's not gonna stop me, then yep, just drop the knight back. Now he's got 2 attackers on this, and I only have the king defending. But at this point, this is set up. Now he only has 1 attacker on that. We'll go ahead and block with the bishop. We need to get him moving anyway. We probably do want to kick the knight. Yeah. And we'll just lock this position, I think. Yeah, we want that big center. So we need to take the free pawn. And castles and kick. Maybe kick and castles. That's a mistake. Takes. Still have to take this. Uh-huh. Guards the bishop. Forces the knight to move. He can't move there, he can't move there, there, or there. Well, he can move there, but he is now up a pawn. But he severely lacks development. We are also going to go ahead and castle that direction. I think we have an opportunity to move this guy forward again. And again. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. We now have an opportunity for a discovered check. I'm trying to think of how we can use that. Discovered check. I don't see a good way to use that right now. In the meantime, we can probably hop this pawn forward too. Oh, I'm in check. Derp. Didn't notice that. We'll just slide the king over. Gonna lose this pawn. Or not. That's very odd. Oh, queen is defending that. It's not as odd as I thought it was. Check. And then you either block with the rook or move the king or block with the bishop. Blocking with the rook or the bishop is fine. You either block with the rook or you move the king. Blocking with the bishop is the loss of the loss of a bishop. So if you block with the rook, oh, then I take. This looks really, really good right now. Previously, it didn't look that good, but since you move this up, I've got this move with the knight, and that's obnoxious to deal with. Right now, it's not just moving the king. Oh, king can move over 2. Shoot. Derp. Wow. I am not seeing moves right now. Let's go ahead and oh, don't. Wow, Tyler. Let's go ahead and do this, guarding that pawn, kind of knowing we're sacrificing this one right now. Though pulling the queen back is not a bad idea either, because we're going to be attacking this. Maybe we just crown this and then do that. Oh, interesting. We can trade the knights. Let's trade the knights. Crown this. No, don't want to bring him out there. That'll just result in that pawn getting captured. Huh? Not a free pawn. Check. So my thought process is we can force him to lose this bishop. Or force the queen back to guard the bishop. And that might have some nice implications as well. Okay, he blocks with the bishop. Move my queen forward to threaten the rook, except I'm not threatening the rook. Shoot. I think I want to take this before things get out of hand. Yeah. It's probably time to get the king in the game. Queens are still on the board, though. I can do this now. That's terrifying. Okay. I've lined up the bishop and the pawn here. I suppose he can go there to defend, but then I get an opportunity to move. Idiot. 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 Well... yeah, that was stupid. That was incredibly stupid. I'm just not seeing anything at all tonight. Now he's got my pawns gobbled, and there's not a lot I can do about that. He doesn't have a check. Well, I guess he does his check. That's not a good check for him, though. Okay. Oh, shoot. I think that's mate. Not quite. Yes, quite. Not quite. Yes, quite. Ouch. Man, I made several just blunders there. Yeah. Really? Anyway. Yeah, I figured that out immediately after I made the move. I probably... want to just do this. Ta-da. Brilliant. Okay. Remember, castles guards this pawn. Alright. So this is where I threw it all away. What am I supposed to be doing here? Okay, it still says it's an excellent moveset, but I don't know what to do with it. I can... This knight isn't doing anything, so moving it here to attack the queen and be defended by the queen isn't a bad idea. Moving it here to do the same isn't a bad idea. But this pawn is actually completely undefended. Duh? It's good, but not best. What's best? Okay. Why would that be best? I am giving up this pawn in exchange for threatening a check. Suppose I don't understand why that check is scary. He makes just a random... He makes just a random move. If I check now, it's a significant loss. Yeah, I don't understand why this is scary. I also don't understand why he doesn't just take this. Then h4 guarding the knight. What are we threatening here? We're threatening some kind of rook attack? Yeah, some kind of rook attack. Oh, we're counterattacking the queen. Then we're forking the queen and the knight. I don't know why you would do that. I suppose what else do you do? Oh, that's mean. That is so mean. Okay. I guess that makes some sense. All right, back to a Caro-Kann. This guy knows the Caro-Kann. Let's go ahead and do this. And this. And this. Castles. We can go ahead and start bringing the knight out, start bringing these pawns forward. That seems like a very odd castle. It seems very much the wrong way. Oh no, I already got that guarded. How are you going to survive this pawn storm? Okay. The answer is you aren't. Okay. Take some time here. We're doing... So the idea is if he takes, he's in a really bad position. Even if he doesn't take back, he has to move the queen somewhere. And even if he moves the queen somewhere, I suppose he can move it here. But he's asking what I'm going to do with this knight. Right, and I could take, which kind of forces him to take back, and I still have to figure out what to do with the knight. But if he takes the knight, oh, where does that? He's, well, let's see here. I don't think that's as bad as a position as it. Well, it might be as bad of a position as I'm thinking. See, now that knight really can't move. Okay, king moves up. If I can get a double attack on that knight, I think I moved up too early. I don't see a way to get double attack on the knight. Actual, nope, that doesn't, well, no, that doesn't work. So if I take the knight, you can take back the queen. We're still in the same position. Effectively. Oh. If I take the pawn, he can take with the bishop. I don't think this actually works, but I kind of backed myself into a corner here. But he took with the queen. Which means I can force his king to the... Nope, this doesn't work. This does not work, Tyler. I think I had something really, really fancy going there, and I messed it up. Of course, it doesn't appear to be dead. Okay. But now that knight can't move again. And it's not defended. Okay. No, he's up another pawn. How am I down a pawn on that? Shoot, I calculated that wrong. I think I'm way too tired to be playing chess because I am calculating things really, really poorly. Let's go ahead and bring the... Careful now. Let's go ahead and bring the bishop here, and then we can bring the queen into attack. He's bringing the knight forward. That's a good move. But I think it's a bit on the slow side. I'm not sure what he's doing there. Oh, he's defending his pawn. But who's going to defend the bishop? The pawn right now, sure. I'm ready to move the rook over and take that. I'm ready to take the bishop with the knight. Okay, so this, and then rook here or here, depending on where the king goes, maybe? Or do I threaten the queen now? No, not now, because queen can defend the bishop. We don't want her defending the bishop. Guarded by queen. Not guarded by anything. King prevents. Queen prevents. Takes. Takes is forced. Takes. Takes is not forced. I don't see a way for the queen to get out of this. Oh, shoot. I thought I ran out of time there. I was going to say, I glanced down and I saw 3 minutes, so I don't think I have too much time. A Stalin Q. Whoop. I must have missed the free rook, and I missed the challenge. Let me go back to home and see if I can't find it. I have no clue where the challenges are on this. There we go. Why can't I accept a challenge at the moment? The challenge didn't pull. Send it again. There we go. All right. Okay. Knight is under attack. And I can't move the knight due to the queen. And I think if you take them down in exchange, takes. Takes. Or I suppose this one would force me to take back. Takes? Yeah, that's down in exchange. So I suppose I need to do something to prevent that. And I can either take this, but then you're double tacking on my knight. I prefer that didn't happen, so we'll just take over here. Okay, so the question is to bring the knight up or to castle. I think... Well, let's see, if I bring the knight up, then this bishop is forfeit. So, not that. Let's go ahead and castle. Okay, you take the knight. Ooh. I can also take back this way. That's terrifying. But I think it works. Uh-huh. No, that's fine. I think I actually... Nope, that does... I think I actually see a different move I could have made earlier. That would have put us even. That's interesting. Feel like I need your knight to be gone. I'm not sure what that does. Okay, you move that like that's going to protect your knight somehow. But the queen can't attack here. She can't go here. She can't attack here. And this knight doesn't give you much either that I see. So I'm going to go ahead and take the knight. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. You're essentially trading 2 knights for a rook and a pawn. Two pawns? No, not 2 pawns. Necessarily. Let's go ahead and do this. 2 pawns. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm. I don't see any more checks for you. At least none that don't lose your queen. Mm-hmm. see. Oh, there we go. shoot. No, that's fine. That is fine. That is less than fine. Oh, thank you for the resign. I thought you were going to get the flag there. Close game. Hectic game. Mm. Sorry, I'm being quiet when I'm playing a viewer here. It puts me in different mindset on talking. I certainly am not good enough at this game to talk about something else while playing the game. This seems fine. Ooh, interesting. Why? Oh, I see it. Um. All right, clean exchange. Um, it's probably a little dangerous, but this late in the game, I don't actually mind opening up my king a bit. Okay. Still attacking knights, but fair enough. Good game. I like the opening exchange a lot. Alright, so it is actually a little bit past my normal end streaming time, and I do think that I am going to end it here. Unreal has another hour or so still on the compile. It's only halfway done. Whoops. Trying to pull it over to show you guys. Totally missed the click. Only halfway done here. So I think I will we'll be ending the stream for tonight, and we'll pick up on debugging with Unreal tomorrow. Have a nice night, everybody. And yes, excellent game. Asteling. I probably butchered that name, sorry.